Good evening. Um, I'm coming to you live from my my house, and I want to do a review on the movie that just came out recently called Plan B. This is a very, very funny, but also very, very, very crude, raunchy comedy starring two very funny young women. I hope I get their names right. Kuhu Varma and Victoria Morales as Sunny and Lupe, two young women, 17, 18 years old, in a small town in South Dakota, of all places. It's very funny that you have a raunchy comedy set in a place like South Dakota. Most of them are usually set in Ohio or Georgia or the Midwest or out east, out west, California, Oregon, Washington State, New England. But anyway, the plot is that these two uh, young women, they're kind of like, they're not part of the it crowd because obviously one is, uh, of India descent, another one is, of course, Latina, and South Dakota is basically the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants are usually the ones who are still uh, getting all the attention. So the plot is that Sonny's mother is a real estate person, agent, and she goes out of town for the weekend for a seminar, and before they even know it, Lupe has pretty much told the whole school that there's going to be a party at Sonny's house while her mom is out of town. And at this party, she wants to hook up with this one guy, but she ends up more or less having sex with this guy who's like a Christian student. His name's Kyle, and I want to say something about the direction here. Is that it is so awkward, but so funny, this sex scene. And I'm pretty sure a lot of young men and young women, can relate to this. It is very, very an awkward scene. So, and of course, it doesn't last long. So, but the guy's using the condom, and Sonny goes back, to the rest of the party, and her and Lupe pass out. Next morning, she wakes up, and when she goes to the restroom, she finds out, ooh, the condom is in her vagina. So it fell off or whatever. Whatever happened is that she tries to go get of course, the Plan B pill, which is the title Plan B, and she runs into so many roadblocks. She goes to like the local pharmacy, and this is what I think one of the funniest jokes is that the actor, director, comedian. Oh gosh, I wonder if I say his name right. I'm sorry, Jay Shan Jessica, who I know I probably said it wrong, but he's with the Super Troopers, Broken Lizard, that that comedy troupe, and he is a very funny cameo in here as a pretty much a pharmacist who doesn't let them have the pill because they are underage 17, and they decide to go to Rapid City. Well, there's a Planned Parenthood there, and of course, if you've seen Road Trip, Euro Trip, Howard and Kumar movies, Dumb and Dumber, nothing is as easy as it seems. What should be a 3 or 4 hour drive ends up being a lot more. So they pretty much take the mom's minivan and get lost. There's so many funny things. I'd hate to give them away, but there's the way they act about the navigation woman makes me laugh because whoever does this voice, I'm pretty much sure she's probably heard this herself, that sometimes she seems a little bit, aggressive or bitchy, and there's they get lost going to Rapid City, and they get lost in rural South Dakota, and try to, and over the course of like a 24-hour period, they bump into a lot of other people along the way, and pretty much it's a raunchy comedy, and but it's a very good addition to this genre, because I think that too often that I was just watching the movie Porky's the other day. That was the norm 40 years ago. Now, it's me talking about Howard and Kumar movies. Now you have uh, movies that are dealing with other sides of the young teenagers, young people, on their quest for sex and alcohol and having a good time. And as Howard and Kumar had a Korean and an Indian person of Indian descent, this film has it's kind of like I would say it's kind of like a younger, more female version of Howard and Kumar. So if I don't remember too much, I think they do smoke marijuana, lupe, vapes, and so and of course there's. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a lot of other stuff that you will find, and what I like about this film is too often movies like this have gotten so stale that you can almost see the joke coming miles away. Uh, I like how Jade's cameo isn't overblown. That's another thing I don't like about certain movies nowadays, is that they're putting too much emphasis on the cameo. And I will say this one movie does have one minor hiccup, and that's the gas station clerk, who I think they left in there a little bit too long, and after a while her character isn't funny anymore. And that's another thing I hate about some of these movies, is that I know these are comedians. I know they're trying to make it in these movies the first break, or make themselves known, but they're too much. They add too much to it. And if you go back and you look at movies like, I don't know, Joe Flaherty and Dave Thomas, like 35, 40 years ago, they could be in a movie for like a few minutes. Eugene Levy was another great person, is another great person who used to do this. They could be in a movie for like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, but their character stood out. Things they did stand out. And Jay does that, but this other person, she's in there too long. And this brings up another thing, is that there's like this running gag of the Indian mafia, which I just thought was hilarious. And it's not overused. Apparently Sonny says what happens is that there's like this interconnection of like all people of India descent. Whenever they're spotted, doing something bad, it's like they're all tattle each other, and it's funny. It's a joke that isn't overused, but it's hilarious how it is used, and it's used just right where it's funny. It's great. And there's another thing in this film that I like how it's used, and I'm for one thinking that male genitalia has been pretty much overblown in a lot of movies coming out today, and you can almost sense it in a lot of these watching films that eventually some guy's junk is going to be shown, and there's going to be a gag. But here, and I don't want to give too much away, here it is used, and there's this great scene, and it plays on. There's like two other jokes that come out of it. Actually, three jokes. There is, like I said, I don't want to give too much away, but there's this great back and forth between Sonny and Lupe in regards to it that is just so is hilarious. But there's also a lot of touching moments in this movie. Since it is June Pride Month, Lupe is it's revealed that she is a lesbian. This person she's speaking with, Logan, is actually a woman drummer in a band. And even though it's not a surprise, and they don't really harp on it too much. See, Lupe's father is a pastor, and there's that factor. She's worried about, uh, how he's going to deal with it, how Sonny's going to deal with, you know, uh, having a friend who is a lesbian. And I think it's handled very well. Even though it is 2021, I think there are a lot of people who are still worried about coming out as having same sex attractions to other people, and that issue is used in a way in which it's not a surprise, it's not a shock, and there's a little bit of realism that deep inside Lupe, who has been this kind of wild and crazy teenager, has this feeling of concern in her that she will be shunned not only by her father and also her best friend. And that is what kind of, I think, makes uh, Plan B different from a lot of these other films, is that the performances by both these young actresses are really what keep the film going, even though uh, you've seen this set up several times before. You don't go see a play that you probably know what's going to happen, but you go to watch the performance. And this film is watching a performance. This takes it to the next level, and I think a lot of women, like young women, older women, will probably realize that they've probably been in this same situation before, like going back to that sex scene. It is just, I can't describe it, but you like, ew. But it's also, you laugh, but you kind of cringe a little bit, like, how many people actually had that first experience like that? You want it to be something really nice, but it's like in a bathroom, and but it is a great film. And I think raunchy comedies, um, vulgar comedies like this are great. It's funny that people want to often say that are there too much of them? Well, I think the level is always being challenged and changed. If you go back and watch the Marx Brothers or the Three Stooges or Abbott and Costello, I'm pretty sure there were prudes back then saying, "Well, this isn't comedy. This isn't funny. What's so funny about this? What's so funny about these guys slapping each other? What's so funny about Laura Hardy? Why can't they just you know take that piano up the stairs? That's not funny." But the way it's handled is so good, and it's like Mel Brooks and the Abrams Zucker, and of course the Broken Lizard, the Super Trooper. Those guys, there's always something you can bring to it to make it feel fresh, make it feel better, and here I think they've done that. Plan B is really, really a funny comedy. It's very, uh, it has some great laughs. It has some very outrageous uh, setups, but they don't seem like you've seen them before. And even if you have seen this type of road trip that goes astray formula, here it doesn't seem like you're bored. This film does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make you laugh, and it's supposed to make you care about the characters. And I think both young actresses in this film have a good career ahead of them. And also, I want to mention this. I'm sorry I don't have the guy's name, but Sonny is has an attraction with another guy. He's Anglo-Saxon white guy, and the way he's handled is okay. I felt that they were trying to push a little bit too on him, but that's fine. It's a movie, so he's handled very well. I don't know if there'll be a Plan B Part Two movie coming in the near future. I don't see how they could probably do this unless maybe Lupe, uh, is worried about getting pregnant, or what are they gonna do? Pull another like Home Alone 2? Oh God, Sonny had sex again, and now she thinks she's pregnant. But uh, like I said, I don't know if a sequel is justified or even necessary. But this is you will laugh if you like those other movies I said, like the Euro Trip, Road Trip, National Lampoon's Vacation, Harold and Kumar movies, Mel Brooks, Burke and Lizard. So you will love this film. And if you have Hulu, check it out. If you know someone who has Hulu, uh, let them show it to you. But it is worth your time, and I definitely give it a good grade. Check it out.